Let's
All
go.
right, so let's see. Are we live? Live from Long Island, New York. I'm Ryan Neil Williams, and oh, it's Agnes Abasano from nytaxresolutions.com. Agnes, I did not tell you what the topic of today's show is because it is completely a surprise. We are going to play a game of Would You Rather. Check it out.
You're trying to set me up. Okay.
Yes, exactly. You're gonna
Oh
get you in
boy.
all kinds of trouble. We'll do that in just a second. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Love, Death, and Taxes. In this special episode, we're going to be playing Would You Rather? Would you rather
I feel
find
set
your
up.
soulmate? Well, it kind of is a setup. I guess you technically, if you think of it, okay, you don't know what the questions are.
No.
You can always say pass, right? And
Uh-oh.
of course,
Okay.
today, the three categories are going to be love, death, and taxes, as the name of the show suggests. And today, we're basically going to talk about what the possibilities are and what you would like or what you would prefer in a turn around of events. Instead of starting with love, we're actually going to start with taxes. So, here's the first one. Would you rather work a job where you're paid tax free? I guess this is a setup.
Yes,
Where
absolutely.
you are totally so, uh, where you are paid under the table tax free, or a regular job with all the deductions and benefits.
Oh, this is
Well,
so
I hope
easy.
all
Come
this
on.
can fit.
Give me some challenge.
Yeah,
Give me some
well, that's
challenge.
what I'm saying. I knew these ones are going to be easy for you, right? These ones are going to be easy. Would you rather work a job where you're paid under the table, tax free, but with no security, or a regular job with all the deductions and benefits? All right.
Okay. Well, obviously, regular job with deductions, because a lot
Okay.
of
Okay.
people does not realizes that for every year that we work on the
Yes.
books and we pay our
Yes.
taxes, that applies for our Social Security.
Oh, so if you're not paying into Social Security at the end of life, when you're looking to collect that,
You're
you're going
gonna
to get
get
a smaller amount.
you're gonna
Right.
get
Because
five dollars. You're gonna get
you you can get anything at all right now. It's the way it's going right now. I feel like nothing's going to be there at
Well,
all. So that's an easy one, right? So that's you know what that is. You're going to see a trend throughout this. Anytime you talk about the taxes ones, I'm just going to be on the same side as you. I'm going to agree. I agree. No, I would definitely agree with that. That sort of makes sense. You want to definitely, you want to stay on the books. But I guess we're also the kind of professionals who have been on the books forever. So yeah, I think that makes sense. Do you
there's
have any?
really no benefits. I mean, like really, okay, I can see it might be attractive at the beginning for someone who doesn't know do's and don'ts and the benefits of actually paying taxes and having a job with benefits and everything.
Right.
Because when you're paying just taking cash in hand, um, at certain point you will have to explain where you're getting all the cash and where you going to keep it under the mattress.
Yes, exactly. Under the
Uh,
mattress.
that's one thing. I mean, Social Security. There is, for our retirement. That's one thing. Another
Yep.
thing, if you whenever you want to apply for any kind of loan, uh, how they going to give it to you when you have no income to show. You cannot apply for mortgage. You cannot apply for credit card. You cannot apply for a car loan. I mean, what is the
That
benefit?
it says you're paid under the table tax free, but it doesn't say you don't pay your taxes. You know what I'm saying? I would assume that you try to pay your taxes, but
Doesn't
you're
matter.
right.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't
If
matter.
you
You have
under
to show income. You have to
yeah
show income for what for
yeah
those loans that I just mentioned.
yeah if you underreport, then you're in trouble. But if you do report, then where you're getting the money from, and then the person who was giving you money, now they're going to be upset because they were paying you under the table, and now they have to pay like employee tax, employment taxes, or whatever else, right?
I'm gonna just throw something out here. Um, like when you have sometimes employers they don't want to pay payroll taxes, so they
Yes.
fire you as an independent contractor. Well, guess
Yes.
what? When they fire you and you're going to go to employment,
Unemployment.
yes, as long you can prove it that 80% of your time you
Yeah.
work for that one person, you're still qualified to get benefits and employment benefits, and they're going to go after that employer to pay
Those
taxes
benefits.
and
Yeah.
benefits for all the time that you are working
Yeah,
for them.
regardless. All
So,
right. All right. So you still get some of that out there. All right. Next category, we're going to go all the way up to love. Would you rather find your soulmate early in life, but have a limited time with them, or find them late in life and grow old together?
let me think about that. Let me think about
Yeah.
that. Would I rather get early in life but have limited time?
Yes.
But
Say
am
10
I
years.
getting, but hold on, am I getting just for the first few years limited time and then I'm with that person?
I'm saying, all right. So whatever it is, you find them late in life. Let's say you late in life is, I don't know, 60 or 70. Okay.
Let's go with
Sorry.
50.
Sorry, everybody who's 60 or 70. But say you find them that age, and then you live the rest of your life, like go into your old age with them, and both of you pass away, whatever it is. That's what they're saying. Or you find them, say, maybe in your 20s or 30s, but you're only with them for 10 years or less, maybe even less than that, 5 years.
Okay,
And
got
then
it.
they pass away or something else happens and you no
Got
longer.
it. Based on my experience, I'd rather find them later in life and grow old together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Early in life, we do not know exactly what we want, what we like, and we can very easily take another person for granted.
Mm.
Been there, done that myself, and plus, you know what? I have been blessed personally because until I met my husband, there was a person in my life that oh my God, he was the one. And he disappeared out of my life. I was actually lucky to find him so
Yeah.
that our paths cross again. And my reaction was like, whew, I dodged a bullet.
You don't sometimes, but what if? What if? These are the questions. What if? And would you rather? What if you your influence upon that person
Oh, please, no.
made them a different person?
No, there is no such thing as changing a person.
Oh, I didn't say
Okay.
changing.
Don't. We're not gonna go into fairy tales. Oh my God, I know he's got those flaws, but he's gonna love me so much that he's gonna change for me.
Yeah.
BS. There's no such thing. He might pretend, that person might pretend to if they don't want to change, they're not changing. They might pretend to do until they get you, and after that's okay. What you see, then that's what you get. But
Okay.
if there is person that has no desire of changing themselves, there is no changing against their will, unless
Yeah.
you can really show the way to that person. Again, if they want to see it, because if they're very comfortable in their own skin, there is no changing. If they have other people influencing their life, they're not changing.
No, no change.
But coming back to the question, I rather, as I did, met a person that I want to spend the rest of my life with at the later age, just because I already know what I want. This is not first impression. This is not first love. This is not lust. This is experience and knowing what I want and appreciate in life.
See, you're changing the question. The question is not whether or not you find a person who might seem as if they're good for you. It says find your soulmate.
Only, yes, yes. And then when you are young, you might not realize or appreciate the person,
I have to tell you, I agree with that too. A
you
lot
know.
of people do they think it's their soulmate, but then they don't appreciate them, or they don't understand how you need to do a certain amount of work to stay in a relationship. And there are a lot of people who think you should just be carefree and it should just work easy. And maybe that is the case for some people, but yeah, I think life has its ups and downs. And so it is better when you are with someone who is mature. You don't want to be with someone whose head is always like swiveling and looking somewhere else for something else simply because we're young. So I hear you.
it,
I
it,
like.
it- it's a lot going into, because when you are older, you can establish relationship where you can walk through life without looking behind your shoulder constantly. When
Yeah.
people are younger, they have tendencies of doing stupid things just for the sake of doing it because they can, you know, like looking for someone, the double B, bigger, better, you know.
Yeah, it's all
So
out there. It's out there. All
yeah,
right,
well,
good. So next category, of course, like the
mhm.
name of the show, Love, Death, and Taxes. We're gonna go for the death section. So macabre, so macabre. But here's the question: would you rather know the exact date and time of your death, or how you will die?
Exact date and time.
Exact date and time, because then you can get all this stuff done, right?
Yes, you can say your
Yeah.
goodbyes. You can rank.
Yeah,
You can actually correct all the wrong things that you did. Um,
yeah, I feel like you can get a lot of things done and think about what it is that you're going to do, or develop whatever number of plans and be able to say, yes, that is happening and that has to happen by that time. Yeah, that's good. I like that. What do
yeah,
you
it
think?
die in. I know I'm gonna die without regrets. I'm
Yeah.
I'm I'm living my life like, don't get me wrong. I have a long list of things that I want to do before I die. A long
Yes.
list.
Okay.
But if God decides that today is my last day, I will say
Yeah.
fine, and I will die
Right.
without regrets. I try to live every day of my life so I would not regret what I did or what I said, or it's difficult. Don't get me wrong, it's a difficult thing to do. But when my son was younger, I would have worried that, I want to live long enough to see him establish his family, so he wouldn't need me, like, like a child needs a parent.
Hmm.
Uh, but now he has his family. I see him happy. He's got a beautiful family, so I feel like, okay, I did my job, the most important job, and I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Like, something happens, like, yes, of course there will be like, oh my God, I could have give them all my passwords and everything, but oh well, they're gonna have fun after I'm dead.
I was thinking about that the other day. For those of you who are interested, there is a way for you to like say to your attorney, "These are my passwords," and have them pass on to it. It's like there's a digital version of a will that actually grabs all that stuff and takes it and passes it over to them. and there are a few password companies that do it, but also you literally can, use it as your
You know
digital
what?
wallet.
Funny we're talking about it. I have it here
Mhm.
now. Hold on. I think I have it right here. One moment.
Oh, you have one right now?
No, 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 no.
What are
No,
you
because I'm
hiding?
being prepared.
Okay, hold on. So let me see that. Let me
Oh,
see.
I'm
I'm
dead.
close.
Now what?
You dead now? What? That's wild. Okay. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I have all those little tabs that I still have to fill up those pages. I wasn't joking. I am prepared.
Yeah. Listen, you may as well get prepared. I mean, some of us, are not there yet, and you pass away, and next thing you know, how do we pay for it, or how do it? So I was very proud of my mother when, as soon as she passed away, we were notified by her insurance company. Hey, this is here for her. This is to be taken care of. This. These are all the things. We were there, and it knew what it was supposed to do. A lot of people leave messes behind, and I'm sure sometimes because they passed away unexpectedly, but sometimes it is because you just were not prepared, right? So that is something. And what's it called again? Show it again. Show it again. I think
Hold on. I'm dead. Now what? See, you have different you have
Agnes.
different yes, you have different sections there: personal information, medical information, um,
Mhm.
and there are instructions for at the time of my passing, my dependents, important documents, financial, business, miscellaneous, social media, and my wishes. And
Okay.
you simply indicate there in the proper sections, the bank accounts that you have, the passwords, where you hid your will if you have one, what are your wishes, which actually I have one for the last 30 years. The wishes of your funeral, which again I have one for the last 30 years.
Okay.
I have one envelope for my son. I have one envelope for my husband. All the same version, so there will be no disputes who wants what. Just thinking a little bit ahead.
Good for you. Good.
Like
All
I said,
right.
when I saw this book, I said I have to have it, and I got it, and I already started going through it.
Where'd you
Um,
get? Where'd
yeah,
you get that? Where'd you get that? Amazon.
yeah, I'm sure that you can get that on Amazon. I'm sure
Oh,
you
all
can get that. Yes.
right. Good
So,
book.
yeah, important of information about my business affairs and wishes. I think it's very important. There's a lot of people that they're afraid to start even thinking about it,
Yeah.
those declarations, because they're frightened. They're
Yeah.
frightened by the thought of dying.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen misunderstandings in families because the person who said that they were going to deal with all of that, everybody's like, "Are you dying? Are you dying?" It's like, no, no, no. I'm just trying to tidy things up. So when it's time, you guys actually know what to do. You don't want this to happen and then nothing. You know what I mean? Nothing is worked out. You
This
know.
is this is difficult process, very difficult process. If you don't address with someone ahead of time, how will you know if they want to be cremated or buried? What
Yeah.
kind of tasks? People have wishes.
Yeah.
People have,
Exactly.
yeah.
I'm going to say it here for everybody to see on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Facebook. I want to be buried in rice paper and have a tree planted on top of me with fruit, like a fruit tree, preferably mangoes, and then people can eat of the tree. Is that crazy? Yes, it's crazy, but it's what Agnes is like, Ryan, why would you say that?
Eat
But
those fruit.
I think it'll be it.
Eat
Yeah, I
the
think
fruit.
yeah. You're like, eat the fruit. What difference does it make? You're dirt. You're going to dirt anyway.
All right.
Technically, you know what I mean? You're going
Just
to be.
source of protein. Okay, I
And
get it.
what we do is we entomb everybody and we keep our bodies like in these things and it just stays there. And so basically we're littering the entire planet with those things on it, and they're never going to truly um, decompose, right? Because we've put these cement sectors around it. Let me go back to the dirt. All right, next question. Next question. Would
Okay.
you rather, in the category, returning to our original official category of taxes, would you rather have a 100% inheritance tax or a 100% tax on all gifts you receive? 100% inheritance tax or 100% tax on all gifts you receive, which is very interesting because your inheritance could technically, that's an interesting one. You know what? Should I pull a different one for you?
No, 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 no. Let me see. There are depending how much is the inheritance and how much are the gifts.
So technically, it's an easy question, but you really have to know what the numbers are.
Yeah, because like, that there are certain in their national, international, because there are certain amounts that they are tax free,
Right.
you know. So depending how much is the inheritance and what kind of gifts are they. So it's really depends depending on that.
Yes, it does. I guess it would depend. So right now, based on what you're doing and in your life, would you prefer to have an inheritance tax or gift tax? I mean, which are you receiving the most of right now? Now I'm
None.
in. That's right. That's right. On this, you received none. I received nothing. That's right. You're not going to tell anybody
I
anything.
am not that. See, you're asking the wrong person because um I whatever I have, I build it myself. No one gave me or helped me with anything.
Okay.
So people, they're very rich people. They doing different things. They're not leaving anything in inheritance. They act ahead of time. They do
Yeah.
estates, living estates.
Mm,
So if you want to leave me something to the living estate, and then we'll talk.
okay.
I'm open to that. And
All
gifts,
right. Give some. Okay. Not
okay,
going crazy with the game.
give them to me while you are still alive, so I will know that, so I can say
Then
thank you properly.
that's right, because then you can put it in the right bucket. Because if they give it to you after they're passed away, then it's inheritance, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So look at this one. Let's go. Would you rather? We're back to our dead or our death question.
Right.
Would you rather have the ability to speak to someone who's passed for 5 minutes once in your life, or receive one message from the afterlife? Interesting. Would you rather have the ability to speak to the dead? Ooh, it's the same thing for 5 minutes, or receive one message from the afterlife. See, if you get the message from the afterlife, it doesn't have to be one message. It doesn't have to be 5 minutes. It could be seven. You know what I mean? So it could be longer. I would choose option two. What do you think? I'd like
Uh,
a letter from my mom.
hmm. Ability to
Hmm.
speak. No, I think the message from the afterlife.
Yeah.
I Well, if you have someone, unresolved issues with someone, unresolved situations, or if you want to ask someone for forgiveness, then I can see how speaking to one particular person will be
Right.
appealing.
Right.
But yeah, receiving from afterlife kind of assurance that there is something out there. My beliefs make me, you know, believe that there is.
Right.
I truly believe that there is a better place for all of us. But yeah, I guess message from afterlife. Yeah, some
Okay. Message from, not to speak with, because you don't want to have the conversation. You prefer to just receive the thing. That's what you're saying.
yeah. So this way, that will make me a kind of an assurance that there is afterlife.
Oh, this one is good. This one is good. Well,
Mhm.
moving on again to the love portion. Let me see if I can get it here, right in here where you can get it. There you go. And bam. Would you rather have an arranged marriage with a guaranteed compatible partner, or take your chances finding love on your own? Realize that they say guaranteed compatible partner, or
Come
take
on,
your
and lose chances of having your heart broken and all the tears and everything else.
yeah, right.
Is he the one? He's not the one. Is he the one? He's not the one.
It's very interesting. Like, you think of it, freedom of choice. So you have all this freedom to choose how many different ways you can hurt yourself. Really. But the truth is, yeah, I've seen a lot of people, especially people from the East, or whose families are from the East, say that it works out. You just know that this is my role and this is your role, and sometimes you come to love that person, right? So that's really the crux of this question, because we've heard this many different times. Would you rather have an arranged marriage, or would you rather go and have go figure it out on your own? I think Americans, or Western culture, chooses the latter for most point, for the
Yes.
most part. But I think uh, the older you get, and depending on what has happened in your love life, you might say, whatever. If there's a guaranteed compatible person, wow, guaranteed compatible. That's
There's
that
no such
that.
thing as guaranteed compatibility.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, there's no such thing. But I think it's a magic would you rather question. So you have
But
to.
you know what? A few months ago, I had a conversation with one of the gentlemen.
Mhm,
His roots are from the east.
mhm,
And his marriage, we were talking about the coming marriage of his son,
mhm,
and his marriage himself, his marriage was arranged.
mhm.
And he was telling me how he was against the whole idea of arranged marriage. But as soon as he lay his eyes on his future wife, there was love at the first sight. And
Yeah,
guess what? We're talking 30 years later. When he talks about her, his face lights up.
lights up, right?
It's like she's the best. She's the best cook. She's the best wife. She's the best mother. She's the best. She is it. She is it. And it's so beautiful to see that a man can talk about his wife
Mhm.
this,
Like that. Yeah.
and there was through arranged marriage. And it was through arranged marriage. So maybe through arranged marriage um, you're skipping the problem of being accepted by the family of your spouse.
Well, don't they do that though? Like, from what I see, there's a Netflix show that does this, right? Where there's a woman who actually goes, and I think it's called Indian Matchmaker or something like that. And she goes to each family and figures out what the family is like and what this family is like. And then they arrange it and put it together. Like, the parents meet first, and then the kids meet, and it's a whole thing, right? Isn't that the way they do it? And I'm like, whoa, I don't think I would want to put my fate in somebody else's hand. But apparently she's pretty good at it, and they last for a very long time. So
We
I
will,
understand. I guess that's the guaranteed.
we
Go
can sign you up.
ahead. Let me go to her and see if I can find some. The only problem is my parents have passed, so it would be hard for her to talk to them and figure that out. But I'm assuming there are other touch points that she uses to figure that out. But yeah, listen. If it says guaranteed compatibility, I think I'm at this point where I take that. I take that because the other thing is uh, unsure. It's not necessarily a true bet, and sometimes it's not what you're looking for, right?
No, I would go for
Like
that. Because
you're like I must choose.
I will absolutely. Plus, there's no such thing as guarantee.
No.
We all with age, we developed, we evolve, we change our minds. That's a human nature. So if someone tells you today, no problem, I will accept you throughout the way you are throughout your whole life and everything else. Okay, well, for example, me, I have different ideas and I'm open to trying different things and I'm into so many things. So like my husband is extremely patient man to put up with that and say, honey, whatever makes you happy, you do it.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
gonna find a person like that that often. This me, you want to try this? No problem. There's never guarantee whatever you do is gonna, you know.
It's interesting you talk about your specific relationship because I see him as a person who has a lot of boundaries. Like he is
Yes,
very specific and likes what he likes, and that's what it is.
yeah,
But he loves you, the relationship is such that he loves you so much that no matter what you want to do, all the other stuff, he's willing to do it with you. But I think that's also a part of who his spirit is, like deep down. He wants to go and do these new and different things, but I think he loves to do them with you. So uh, don't let me, don't let David hear me talking like that. But that's what I think is going on there. Last one, and it's gonna be a last tax questions, and then we'll be done. Okay. Would you rather be audited every year but owe nothing, or never be audited but always owe a small unexpected amount?
would I rather be audited every year? But see, the way I do my taxes, I welcome audit any year.
But isn't okay? So, but it's a problem. Like the person is asking you for papers, they're asking you for stuff all the time, and you would never owe nothing. But it's kind of a, it's almost like a harassment.
You're asking the wrong person. You see, I have folders with whatever I use. I have a backup for.
You like me?
I'm gonna tell you a funny thing. Okay, you're gonna laugh at me.
Mm.
When I start doing my own taxes, before I start getting into tax business, when I start
Yeah.
doing my own taxes, I was so I'm sorry, I can say that with my straight face, but I actually sent my taxes with copies of every single receipt
Did you
for
ever
my
done?
tax. I don't know was that after 4 or 5 years, I got the letter. Please submit only your tax returns without the receipts.
So you don't mind getting audited because you're keeping everything.
I
But
have
the
everything.
I think what this is saying is you're going to be audited every year, which means you're going to have to provide everything. It means you're going to have to go through the problem and whatever, whatever. But you're right. You would be the wrong person to ask because you're saying you keep all the records.
I have
But
everything. You're
right,
supposed to
right.
avoid problems.
So that's where you would go.
Yeah,
But the other people who are like, this is a lot of time I'm spending getting audited every single year would probably choose, you know what, I'll just fine. I'll just owe a small unexpected amount, which is but when I say small unexpected, I guess that's maybe a couple $100 or maybe $1,000 or whatever it is. So you keep it really small, right? That's probably where you're going,
it's
right?
depending how organized you are.
Depending
You know.
all right. So that's our game of Would You Rather. What do you think? What do you think? That was fun. I thought I used to do this show and it was potpourri. potpourri, basically pick things out and figure it out. And I was like, would rather that'll be nice. You might enjoy actually doing something that just random questions out there about either one of the things that we talk about. But this would be great. So I hope you enjoyed. Did you enjoy the show?
Absolutely, I had fun.
Good, good,
Well, that was
good.
great. You didn't even give me much time to arrange my hair. I didn't know which way to
Oh,
go.
we didn't even talk about your hair. You did your hair today, and we didn't even talk about. But it's okay. It's okay, ladies and gentlemen. This show is Love, Death, and Taxes. I'm Ryan O'Neill Williams. You are looking at the lovely Agnes Amasano. We are. Uh, how would I say it? I think we are going to be moving this show to a lot more venues. We're going to see about that very, very soon. I want you to stay tuned to this channel as we talk about the things, the inescapable things of life. If you are looking specifically for tax resolutions, you're having difficulties with your taxes, Agnes is the person to see about that. And you can go to her website at nytaxresolutions.com. Again, nytaxresolutions.com. If you are looking for to talk to us on this show, you'd like to appear on the show, you send us some mail at mailbag at Love, Death, and Taxes. You can see down there at the bottom of the thing. Or if you just want to come check us out on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, that's what you're looking for. Love, Death, and Taxes, or Agnes the Tax Pro. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. Agnes, do you have anything else to say to these people? Say before we get out of here.
Thank you for watching and continue watching.
All right, very well. Guys, take care. Have a great day. Have a great week. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye bye.